Troops have just made a move that could shake up one of the most dangerous networks in northern Nigeria, and it all happened quietly in Gombe State. A man known as Pakapaka has been arrested, and this is not just another name on the list.
This is the second in command to a well-known bandit leader, Kachalauta, someone who is not just involved, but deeply connected to how these operations run from the inside. And what makes this even more interesting is that he was not alone. His wife was arrested with him right there during the operation. Now think about that for a second. When security forces pick up someone this close to the top, it usually means one thing: they have been watching for a while. This was not luck. This was planned. It means movements were tracked, patterns were studied, and the right time was chosen before they moved in. And when they did, they got someone who likely knows a lot more than the average fighter. What makes this even more telling is where this arrest came from. Reports suggest that Pakapaka had been on the move, leaving a forest hideout in Plateau State before he was finally caught in Gombe. That detail alone says a lot. When people in positions like he start moving around, it often means pressure is building. Something is forcing them out of their usual safe zones. And when that happens, mistakes are easier to make. So this arrest is not just about catching one man. It is a signal. It shows that the system around him may already be under stress. Because people like Pakapaka are not just following orders. They help plan, they help organize, and they help keep the network running smoothly. Remove someone like that, and you create a gap. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Right after the arrest, troops did not slow down. They pushed further. They carried out follow-up operations in areas where the main leader, Kachalauta, is believed to be hiding. And even though he was not found, the fact that they went after him immediately tells you something very important. This is not random. This is targeted. It also raises a big question. How close are they now to reaching the top? Because when someone so close to the leader is captured, it tightens the circle. It increases the chances of more information coming out. Locations, contacts, movements, all the things that make these networks work can begin to surface. And when that starts happening, things can change very quickly. Now, if you've been following similar stories over the years, you will notice a pattern. These groups often rely on structure. There's a leader, then a trusted circle, then others below. And the strength of the group depends on how strong that inner circle is. So when one key person is removed, it can either weaken the system or force it to react. Now let's talk about something many people overlook: the arrest of his wife. At first, it might not seem like a big detail, but in many cases, family members can play roles that are not obvious at first glance. They may help with communication, support movement, or even act as trusted links between people. So this part of the story adds another layer. It means there could be more to uncover than what is visible on the surface. And this is why this moment matters. Because this is not just about stopping one person. It is about understanding how the network works and breaking it piece by piece. At the same time, there's still a bigger picture. The main leader is still out there. And as long as that is the case, the network is not completely gone. But this kind of move creates pressure. It forces changes. It makes things harder for things to continue as before. You can imagine the situation now. Someone at the top hears that their second in command has been captured. Trust becomes an issue. Movement becomes risky. Communication becomes careful. Everything slows down. And when that happens, opportunities open up for more operations like this. But here's the real question. What happens next? Does this lead to more arrests? Does it help security forces move closer to capturing the main leader? Or does the network try to adjust and find a way to survive? We've seen both outcomes before. In some cases, taking out key figures causes the system to fall apart. In other cases, someone else steps in and things continue. So this moment is right in the middle of that uncertainty. And that is why this story is so important to watch. Because it's not just about what has happened. It's about what could happen next. If you're following this closely, This is the kind of update you don't want to miss. Go ahead and like this video and subscribe so you don't miss the next part of this story, because things like this can develop fast. So now let me ask you, do you think this arrest brings them closer to capturing the main leader? Or is this just one step in a much longer battle?